was kind of the reason behind starting the YouTube channel?
Because nobody else will fight me, so I needed something to do.
Dana's the guy, right? Do you think it's a good thing or a bad thing to have one person with that much power in a combat organisation?
I think rivalry is healthy.
Charlotte Daly with Sport Boxing, joined by Tom Aspinall. How are you?
I'm doing all right, thanks. I didn't realise it was boxing. Are you aware I'm not a boxer?
I am aware, good. Yeah, don't worry. Good. Oh, that's it, interview over. Now, I hear you're a bit hungry, so are we going to get a hangry Tom Aspinall, or are you feeling okay?
I reckon you've got a solid 5 minutes before I start getting pissed off.
Right, well, in that case, I'm going to rattle through all the questions that you don't want to talk about first, get them out the way. The first one's got to be Jon Jones. When you hear things like him saying that he needs 6 months to train once it's locked in, what does that make you think?
I don't know, is that just a headline, though? Or has he actually said that? I don't know. I don't really believe anything that's said in the media now because I've been around that a little bit and I know that not everything is true. And I know sometimes we put stuff out there that's not completely true and people run with it. So we'll find out. I'll find out off the UFC and that's all I'll listen to, really.
Talking about that meeting that's going to be happening, obviously Jon's asking for a huge financial packages to get this fight over the line. Do you think that's justified, him asking for that?
Oh, absolutely. Yeah, absolutely. I think with what he's done in his career, he should get that much money. And fair play. If he gets it, that's amazing. Good for him.
I wonder, though, because obviously he's got a storied background. We've got the PEDs and other things with him. Do you think that with that, it kind of... the kind of fairness of UFC, the fact that he's pulling all the shots and making the demands, even though he does have this storied background?
Well, you brought it up, not me. I'm just putting that out there. No, do you know what? My job's to fight people, innit? Like I'm just a dumb cage fighter. That's all. So my job is to get in there. The bell goes, I go across and fight somebody, and that's all I can do. If they offer me a fight, I'll take it, and if they don't, I won't. Simple as that, really.
Why do you think it's taking so long? Because I mean, the beauty of UFC is the best fight the best, but he's almost being protected. The fight that the fans want, the fights that you want, isn't happening. Yeah. So why do you think that model has almost been changed in this scenario? It's
a great question. But it's a question that I don't have an answer to, unfortunately. I would love to know myself. I will be asking the questions myself as well, but right now I have no idea.
Well, let's talk about how that fight would kind of go down. I know he's been pretty inactive. That plays into your hands, I guess. What do you think of or make of the fight and how it unfold?
I don't know if it plays into my hands because he's had so many fights. I think like ring rust is probably for people who've not had as many like title defences as he's had. So I don't think he'll have that at all. I just think that I'm way different to any other heavyweight out there at the minute, and I think I'm nothing like anybody that he's ever faced before. So I think that's to my advantage. And if you look at statistics, I'm statistically the most dangerous person in the UFC. If you look at finish rate and finish time and all that kind of stuff, that is me. So I think he's a human being. If I punch him, he will fall over. So that works to my advantage for sure.
You say there about you being one of the most dangerous people and your strike rate and getting people out of there. You've said before about the fact that you think one of the reasons maybe he's not taking the fight is because he doesn't have enough footage of you. He doesn't have enough data on you, and the fact that he's somebody that really likes to look at their opponent and go through all the video and analyse it. Do you still think that is a contributing factor as to why he doesn't want to fight you?
I mean, maybe. I mean, in all honesty, I'm just making stuff up. I don't know. I have no idea. You'll have to ask him. I don't know.
That's fair enough. If that fight doesn't happen, then what do you want? What do you want the next kind of 12 months to look like for you?
I'm just getting a bit sick of not fighting people now. It's been a bit long. Like 8 months, I think it's been 7 or 8 months since I last fought. Well, that's relatively normal, to be honest, for like an elite fighter. It's not too long, but I think I want to book a fight soon and fight somebody. So I don't know how that looks right now. Hopefully find out tonight.
Yeah. As somebody who loves to fight and is obsessed with fighting, I mean, you've had time out of the cage before, whether that's the 3 years before UFC or injuries. What is it like being out of action? What is it like kind of training away and keeping yourself in shape but not having that end goal of a fight?
Well, this one's a little bit different for me actually, because usually if I'm inactive, I'm either injured or. Well, when I didn't fight for a few years, I was doing boxing, so I was still training for something. And when I was injured, I was just like rehabbing to, my goal was to get back into MMA training. So this time to be training for quite literally nothing, it's been a bit weird. But it's a little bit more frustrating because I'm doing like really well in the gym and I don't get to like go and showcase it, which is a bit annoying. But it's not to a waste because it's not like I'm never going to fight again. You know what I mean? I'm going to fight at some point. And I get to showcase it then, so it's fine.
Yeah. You said before, I heard you say about nerves when it comes to fighting, that you do get nervous before fights, and the people that say that they don't get nervous are lying. Mm-hmm. Even though you say you get nervous, you don't show it and you hold it together very well. Is there a kind of pivotal moment where you learned how to kind of deal with those nerves or took a different perspective on what those nerves meant?
Yeah, definitely. I think that fear can like help you win. And I realised that maybe just before I got to the UFC, maybe a little bit before that actually, that you don't have to fight against the fear. It can help you win. And like you say, I'm really, it actually gets worse. Every fight gets worse because there's like more at stake every time. The opponents get better and the occasion gets bigger and there's more money on the line and everything. So the nerves get actually worse and worse. I thought it'd get easier, but it turns out I was wrong. But it's just something that I've come to terms with, I've become accustomed to, and I think I'm pretty good at dealing with the nerves, which is, it's not everyone can do it. And I think that elite athletes in any field have to become accustomed and used to being nervous and performing well under the pressure. And that's something that I feel like I do pretty well.
Is it the nerves of the occasion or the opponent that you're facing, or is it the nerves of what could happen and the things that could be said if you weren't to win? Is it what's physically there, or is it thinking about what could happen?
I just don't really want to get beat up in front of millions of people, to be honest. It's not a place I really want to be. So that comes before anything else. I don't really want all my family and friends to see me like shirtless getting beat up.
I mean, that is a good point. Do you think the fear ever outweighs the joy of the sport?
No. I mean, so if you ask me pre-fight, I'd probably say yeah. But then if you ask me post-fight, I would say no. So it depends when you ask me. You ask me, like, if I'm fighting on Saturday and today's Thursday, I would probably say, yeah, the fear outweighs it. But then if you ask me Saturday night after I've won, I would definitely say the joy. So it's difficult to say.
Yeah. What is pre-fight like for you then, considering everyone has a different take to it? Some people are enjoying music, having fun. Some people are zoned in, don't let anyone into the changing room. What sort of side of the fence do you sit on?
I try and enjoy it as much as I can because I'm fully aware that like I'm closer to the end of my career than I'm the beginning now. I'm not saying I'm going to retire anytime soon. I think they're like big moments, and I think that when I'm like 60 years old and I'm hopefully sat down with my grandkids, that's what I'll be telling the grandkids about, is how I used to fight in the UFC and I was a champion and I was the best in the world at some point and I did this and did that. So I'm trying to enjoy them while they're here. That's like a big focus of mine, because when I enjoy it, that's when I do my best. Not everybody's like that. Like you say, everyone has their own approach. Some people like to go into like some kind of weird like warrior mindset mode, and that's like subjective. MMA is a very individual sport. Everybody's different. But for me personally, if I'm enjoying it, that's when I'm doing my best. So I just put the focus on enjoying it.
You said there about the fact that you're not going to do this forever, and I think you said that you wanted to retire around 40. Do you think that a lot of fighters should kind of have that exit plan, that they should walk away from the sport before the sport retires them as such?
I mean, that's not for me to say, but that's what I want to do. I mean, again, everyone's different. People can fight for as long as they want, but I would rather retire a little bit early than a little bit late, personally, because I'm starting to see friends of mine now who've retired and they're having like lifelong issues with the health and stuff because of fighting, and I want to avoid that if possible.
You speak there about kind of the awareness of what can happen from a sport like this. Is that something that then weighs on your mind? Do you think about it?
Yeah. I like, that's what I signed up for, though. Like, I'm fine with it. I've come to terms with the fact that I might get hurt in there. because it's essentially a sport of two guys trying to hurt each other. Like, I signed up for that 15 years ago when I started fighting. I'm aware that, like, there's two guys in there. The idea is to hurt each other. And now we are, like, in the position that I'm in now, I'm fighting literally the best guys in the world. There's nobody better than the next guy I'm going to fight. So can definitely get hurt. But that's, like I say, that's what I signed up for. I'm completely aware I'm good at MMA. I'm, like, comfortable at saying that I'm good at MMA, but it doesn't mean that, like, I can't get knocked out or hurt, because it can definitely happen.
Has your perspective on it changed at all since you've become like a family man?
No, I understood that years ago. Like I say, I've been, like, competing actively since I was, like, 17, and I was aware then that I can definitely get hurt doing this. But now at least I'm getting some kind of decent financial gain out of it if I do. Before the UFC, I was getting 500 quid, so that's it's a bit better these days.
Yeah, make the money whilst you can. Yeah. I completely agree. Talking of some of the risks associated with combat sports, I guess, one of the new things that's big in the boxing world at the moment is the fact that Dana White, TKO, and the Saudis have teamed up for that boxing league. Yeah. They're saying that it's going to be very similar to a UFC model. So I kind of want to pick your brains as someone who's been in the UFC and flourishing in the UFC. Now, UFC has a lot less, kind of fewer, as we say, weight classes. So the jump between them is a lot bigger. Yeah. Do you think if boxing adopts that same kind of system, that the cut will almost be harder on boxers than it is now? And what's your kind of take on it all?
The cut in terms of what? In terms of weight?
Yeah.
I personally don't like extreme weight cutting, because I think that if you're going to dehydrate your body and potentially dehydrate your brain, and then the next day you're getting punched in it repeatedly by someone who can really punch, I just think it's unsafe. So, but that being said, everyone's going to always try and look for an advantage, aren't they? And if they feel like their advantage is cutting weight and being the bigger guy, then I do understand it. But I don't like it. I've seen some guys, I mean, I don't cut weight myself, I'm a heavyweight, but I've seen some guys in some absolute states cutting weight, and I'm just like, I can't believe you're actually going to go and fight somebody tomorrow. Like, that is crazy. So I'd rather that didn't happen. Yeah. But who am I to say anything? Do you know what I mean? It's nothing to do with me.
Yeah, yeah. No, that's one of the things I guess we talk about in the boxing as well. Yeah. One of the positives, I guess you could say, is the fact that boxing has this tendency to be unsure of who the champion is because of the fragmentation of the belts and stuff. You don't get that so much in UFC.
Apart from my division.
Yeah, exactly. Is that kind of a step forward for boxing then, if they only have one?
I don't know, because
belt?
I read, and I don't read into it all because, in all honesty, I can't be bothered. But I seen a headline. I didn't click on the article, but is it right that they're trying to make, like, one champion per division now?
Yeah.
I personally think that's impossible for boxing, because isn't there like 5 or 6 at least per division? Yeah. So what are they going to do with the rest of the 5 guys who are... So if there's 5 champions in one division, how do they, like, take the belt off 5 people? So
I think what they're saying they're going to do is set up a new boxing league, which is almost different to what we have at the moment.
But they're going to get everybody to go in the boxing league?
We don't know yet.
It's never going to happen, is it? Like, if one guy's getting $5 million for keeping his belt, or he can go in somewhere more difficult against more competitive opponents, he's just going to keep his belt for the $5 million, I would imagine. But I'm just guessing. I don't know. Maybe there's more to it than that. I don't know. Like I say, I've seen a headline on Instagram. So what do I know?
Well, money was another thing that I was going to say, because obviously boxers at the moment are typically getting paid more than UFC fighters. Do you think that dynamic will change now that Dana's coming into the boxing world as well?
So you're saying that... Wait, so you're saying that... Sorry, I'm very hungry. This is throwing me off. So you're saying that MMA fighters are going to get paid more now that the boxers...
Well, it could go two ways. It could go two ways.
I know what you mean. You're saying now that Dana White's involved with boxing, either UFC fighters will get paid more or boxers get paid less. Well, boxers can't get paid less because they wouldn't do it, would they? They just keep the belt at whatever organisation they're in and keep getting paid high. So I would imagine that UFC fighters get more, but
So it could
I
benefit
hope
you
so.
guys.
I hope so. I'd like to get more. That'd be fantastic. I'd like to get 30 million or whatever Usyk's getting. What's he getting? 120 million or something? I'll take a bit of that.
It's crazy numbers,
yeah,
isn't
that's
it?
great. I'll do that. Absolutely.
With that, there's obviously, with UFC, it's kind of one main source of power. I mean, Dana's the guy, right? Do you think it's a good thing or a bad thing to have one person with that much power in a combat organisation?
I think rivalry is healthy. Competition's healthy, isn't it? So it would be nice to have someone to keep the UFC on the toes, I guess. But it's kind of good in a way as well, because what I love about the UFC is like everybody knows where the best in the world are. Like if you're the UFC champion, you are the man. If you're a champion in another organisation, it's always like, yeah, but he wouldn't beat the guys in the UFC. And I personally really like that. So I think it's got pros and cons.
If you were giving advice to someone who's stepping into kind of the UFC realm or into this new boxing league realm, having experienced everything you've experienced on your journey so far, what would be your kind of piece of advice to them navigating it all?
In terms of like business or
anything,
what?
It could be anything.
Well, I think you've got to love it, because it's the rough sports, aren't they? Combat sports. If you're getting punched and kicked around and exhausted every day, you better enjoy yourself. Like you don't want to be doing it if you're having a rough time. So first and foremost, if you're going to do it as a career, make sure you enjoy it, because it's a long road, it's rough, it hurts, it's exhausting. There's going to be a lot of ups and downs. So at least make sure you enjoy it more than anything.
So your YouTube channel, right? You've started that up. I see you're doing day in life, what you eat. What was kind of the reason behind starting the YouTube channel?
Because nobody else will fight me. So I needed something to do. No, I'm just trying to grow the profile. Just trying to, I'm aware that there's not a lot of MMA content out there. I'm not the type of kind of guy to like start talking bad stuff about opponents, really. So I just wanted to like get my personality across and just, yeah, I think it just works well. I think people just want to see more of me. So I thought it was a good idea to start that.
What's it been like kind of opening the door to behind the scenes? Because obviously everyone sees you on Fight Week and gets that side of you. How's it been like received by the fans to see the you behind it?
Yeah, it's been good. I think the Fight Week stuff, I mean, for me personally, I'm very like locked in on Fight Week. I just want to do the interviews and leave. Whereas on the YouTube videos, it is a bit more, you know, I've got more time to show, I've got more things to show, more sides of the personality. And also it's good to like collaborate with other people who do different sports and other like, we're even going to the social media kind of thing with like YouTube and stuff like that. So it's good fun. We like it.
I was going to say about the collabing with other people, because we actually went to see the Stoltman brothers, we know that you've done some stuff with them. Yeah. Who's been kind of the favourite person or people that you've collabed with or tried a different sport with?
Well, we did some stuff with Tom Stoltman, but it was MMA. Right. I really liked him, super nice guy. And we'd like to do another exchange. But this time, I want to try strongman. So I've never really tried it, but I want to lift some of them stones and stuff. Obviously, I do not want to get injured doing it. So, but I really like. I mean, there's no one that I didn't like, really.
What other ones have you done then?
Quite a few. I mean, there are a couple that I didn't like that much, but
which ones?
We'll not mention. But yeah, we've done quite a lot. It's mainly like people in a similar space. Like we did like I couldn't really swim. And I learned how to swim on YouTube with Ross Edgley. That was good. And now I do swimming as part of my training once a week. That's pretty cool. So that's been pretty nice. Like the YouTube video, actually the crossover between MMA and swimming wasn't that big, but the experience was awesome. Like I really enjoyed it, and I swim every week now, so it's part of my training. So big shout out to Ross Edgley who's helped me with that. That's brilliant.
That's great. What sort of swimming training do you do then? Is it just like long swims or?
Oh, I do like sprints in the pool, and sometimes I do like a recovery swim, and it's good. Well, we swam in a lake on that day, and it was a good experience.
So what used to happen when you go on holiday? You just wouldn't get in the pool?
No, I can swim a bit. Like I can survive. Someone pushes me in.
Right. It's good to know.
But I can't. I never like. So before my last fight, I went and got a sauna and stuff, and there was a swimming pool there, and I said to my mate who I was with, I was like, I'm going to do 10 lengths. And bearing in mind I was at like peak fitness at the time, and I did like 8 lengths, and I was absolutely exhausted. And now I can do like 30 or 40 lengths.
It's just different
I've got some
fitness as well,
technique,
isn't
I've
it?
got some techers now, so we're all good.
Nice. Is there any sport that you have coming up in the pipeline that you're most excited
Strongman.
about? Strongman.
Strongman,
Okay.
yeah. I really want to do that. That really interests me. Yeah, I want to do a bit of strongman.
I can feel already that you're going to get very competitive at it.
I'm not going to outlift the Stoltman brothers, am I? But I'll try my best. I don't think I will, but I'll try.
I also hear that you are launching these or have launched these.
They're launched.
Oh,
They're flying.
launched. Okay.
They're flying.
Talk to me about them a
Yeah, you
little
got to
bit.
try one. You got to try one.
Okay. Go on, you can talk me through
I'll
them
talk you
whilst
through it.
I-
So it is a flavoured toothpick. So you tried normal toothpicks, obviously.
Yeah.
That is for when you have some food stuck in your teeth, believe it or not. But this is a flavoured one. But also, the upside of it is vaping.
Right.
People are vaping a lot. We don't know the side effects of vaping. The idea with this is it stops kids vaping, hopefully. Gives them something to do with the hands and mouth, which is not... It's not bad, is it? It's all right.
Oh yeah, that's really good actually.
Good. Yeah, they're going to be in Boots and
tastes
Sainsbury's
really
and everything.
good.
Yeah, it's good. It's good. They're flying. They're a German company, but they're in the UK and they're going to crack America soon. So
Do you use them yourself?
I use them myself. Yeah.
Really? Wow.
I mean, I've had my teeth done, so got to keep them. Got to keep them looking good.